Welcome to Dogsplaining, where we break down what your dog is really trying to tell you. I'm Dana, a canine coach and holistic wellness specialist focused on nutrition, energy work, and essential oils. I'm on a mission for your dog to eat better, feel better, and live longer.
And I'm Angela. I'm your 456 wellness and behavior coach, focusing on helping you understand the connection between 4 paws, 5 elements, and 6 fun tricks.
We're here to help you connect the dots: behavior, food, health, and everything in between, with honest conversations and straight talking guidance.
If you're ready to get past the noise and actually understand your dog's needs, you need to know you're in the right place. Oh, I did that wrong. Let me start over. If you're ready to
Post our other ones. So, all right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Dana and Angela.
Hello.
Took her a minute. We're glad to see everybody, and we still want to invite you all to share your questions and comments and topic ideas for us, and be sure to like and subscribe wherever you're listening to us at, and share with friends and family who may need to hear it from somebody other than you, that they're in trouble. They're making some mistakes. It might be easily resolved.
Sometimes that's all it takes, is someone that doesn't nag you every day to tell you something and you're like, oh, really?
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, what I post, I think a lot of times people interpret as, oh, she's trying to sell her services. That is not my style, y'all. I am a horrible salesperson.
Yeah,
but
same.
Sometimes a dog mama who has had a positive experience or gone through something similar saying, hey, you need to make a change here, is really something they need to, or something that they will resonate with more than coming from one of us. So
what is it? Oppositional defiance disorder. If the same person's telling you what to do all the time, you ignore them and protest, but then someone else comes along and tells you, like, oh, that's a great idea.
Exactly. There's also an issue that somebody sent it to me years ago, so this is not related to anyone specific at this point in time. But you've probably seen them, shirts and t-shirts or whatnot, or memes that say, what is an ask hole? ASKHOLE. So I have that on a coffee mug because I am asked all the time, what would you do? And I give some information, they don't do any of it. So
yep.
We call those ask holes. So that kind of leads us into today's topic, where we want to talk about why, more often than not, when you ask us a question, our initial response is, it depends, rather than take 2 aspirin and call me in the morning kind of response. So, Angela, I know you're doing a lot of training and behavior and all still, but we're going to bring that in along with some of the nutrition and wellness side of the topics. But what comes to mind for you on that topic?
Well, probably the biggest one that you and I both deal with, aside from allergies, is the anxiety factor. Yeah. Because that encompasses training modifications, it encompasses food modification, wellness, prevention, not like traditional prevention, but yes, all of those things.
Right.
And the big question is always, my dog has anxiety, what should I give them? Well, it depends.
Exactly. I think people really get frustrated with me. I can't comment on you, but I know when in my Facebook group, I don't always answer the question the way I think they thought I was going to. And then I don't hear back from them. And I think, oh, are they upset? Are they frustrated? They're unhappy, what? But it really does depend. Even if we're just talking about fireworks or thunderstorm anxiety, let alone separation anxiety or something that's rooted in trauma or brought in from the genetic history, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of those things matter in the answer that we're going to give.
Yep. And even the dog's varying responses to the triggers are all different as well. Dogs are going to manifest anxiety in different ways, and that all depends, that all what you do depends on all of those factors.
Mm-hmm. And it depends on what the human does in those scenarios. Like, are you going to get in the bathtub every time it thunders with your dog because that's the place they feel a little calmer? And it's just not ever going to resolve the problem, right? So we have to look at, when did it start? How severe is it? And interestingly enough, even defining severity sometimes varies,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I talk to my clients a lot about recovery. So regardless of what type of behavior it is, your dog's response, how quickly can they recover? Because that tells a lot about how we have to address the issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you mentioned least reactivity when we were doing a little advanced planning. I know what comes to mind for me, and I'll bring that in a minute, but where would you like to take that scenario?
Yeah. So, and the reason I mentioned anxiety is that's where a lot of leash reactivity comes from, is an anxiety, whether it's an anxiety of not having the, fight or flight response. We've taken that away because we've put you on the end of a 6-foot leash, or maybe you've been attacked on leash before. Maybe you just aren't comfortable around dogs or new people, and all of that's creating some type of emotional response in you, and it's very rarely ever aggression. But we too often say
We
that
describe
that
it as, or we see
yeah,
it
that
as.
dog's not dog friendly. That dog's aggressive towards new people, but really what we're dealing with is an anxiety based on some type of outside trigger.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's important to note also, like a least reactive dog, or even an aggression case that we're working on, anxiety, well, all of it, everything. Um, the human response matters too.
Oh,
So
so big.
it's one of the reasons why I quit doing leash reactivity cases through board and train, because you and I can get the dog confident enough to go out, manage themselves, keep it together under a confident leader who is consistent and knows how to handle something if it does go sideways, right? So if we fix that, and then 6 weeks later, or ever how many weeks it is, we put the leash back in your hand and say, there you go. Even after a go home lesson, your first walk is going to be you as the client, with that same anticipation in your gut, the cinch up on the leash, no matter how subtle it is, it's present. And
Mm-hmm.
you just triggered your dog right back into the same old
Yep.
same.
Yep. One of the things that I need to just put it on a shirt, because I'm constantly telling my clients, whether it's private lessons or whatever, it's like, relax. Like, I see them grab the leash and they've got their leash is in their chest and they're tense,
Yep.
and I'm just like, you have to relax. That's
I say that all the time. Relax your shoulders, let it go. And I'll see they're walking like this with the arm up in the air. And I'm like, what is that going to do? What are you doing? Slow
Yep.
down.
I like to do this little drill with them where I just give them the leash and I act like the dog, and I don't let them make any movement except with their wrist. I'm like, that's all you need to do to communicate with your dog is move your wrist. It has nothing
Right.
to do with your shoulder, your elbow, nothing. I've already shown your dog how to walk nicely on the leash. All you have to do is communicate effectively with them now
Yeah.
with your wrist only.
Right. So I got an inquiry this week about a dog who has PTSD. It was described as PTSD, separation anxiety, and trauma, right? Those are a lot of things,
Yeah.
right? Are they unique in different scenarios? Is there a different response in a different scenario? All of that matters.
Yeah.
So
And what
that's
was the trauma?
Yeah, that comes into the why we say it depends. And the other side of that is, yes, we could easily start with a couple of select essential oils or ashwagandha or CBD or whatever the oh shoot, what is the Bach remedies, rescue remedy kind of
Rescue
stuff,
remedy,
or a
yeah.
dose of melatonin, or all the 42 things you've heard is these might work, right? But until we figure out what the root is, what their response is, where is it coming from, maybe even their nutrition, all of those things are going to help us figure out the way forward. And it's not, it has never, ever been a magic potion. I mean, we've all, well, I shouldn't say we've all seen, I've seen countless times the video, and I can't remember what the animal was. It wasn't a dog, it's like a rabbit or a something that they found that was injured, and they brought out some essential oil, and just the inhalation of it started to create a calming effect. Well, yeah, that's very true. But if it's a deep root imprint to, like, they have mastered their response in response to thunderstorms, that's unlikely to solve it permanently.
Yeah. Yep.
So
And
I
it's
love
also
oily,
unlikely that it's only ever going to be one thing that helps that dog.
right. I love my oily people, but sometimes we act like, oh, I put a drop of magic out there. And we never have to do anything else. That's not always true.
Yeah.
Rarely true.
It's the dogs need therapy too. But first we've got to give the humans some therapy.
Mhm. Yeah, and sometimes I have to ask, and I have to preface it and say, I can't guide you as a human. That's not, I'm not qualified to do that. I'm not a therapist. But could this possibly be your emotion? Could you
Uh-huh.
be, you know,
Yep.
deep rooted in anxiety or trauma or some history that your dog has now mirrored in you?
Yeah. I just had that conversation actually with a client about how our dogs start mirroring our behaviors. And you take a very balanced dog and put them in a home with someone that's real high strung and real anxious and go, go, go. And before you know it, you've got a dog that's the same way. And then the people are struggling with, how do I control this dog? Well, you have to control yourself. You have
Or
to
maybe
show the dog how to
they
be.
may not they may not be the exact same way. They may actually be the polar opposite and retreat away.
Yeah,
So for
that's true
example, I
too.
know if I dropped Poppy off in a home with busy children and a lot of chaos and, multiple people, because she's only ever lived with just me, and granted we've had visitors and such, but if I dropped her into a much higher level energy, loud, busy type environment, Poppy's going to hide somewhere. That's
Yeah.
not who she is. So, and a lot of times when we adopt a dog, we don't always know that. Or even if you get one from a breeder, you're not going to know some of those things.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And don't even get me started on the what was the mother of that animal or the grandmother of that
Oh.
animal, because it matters.
6 generations. Emotional and mental trauma can be passed down 6 generations in humans and animals.
Right. I've heard 7, so at minimum 6. But yeah, I agreed 100%.
It's terrifying.
Right. I'm like, what is happening to me? Where did this come from? Thanks, Grandma.
Well, and it's really scary because we know how we treat animals, but you don't know like what these animals have gone through. Even your breeding dogs, like they haven't had the best life. There's no way that they enjoy making babies 4 times a year.
Mm-mm.
Like so yeah, even though you went and got a puppy from a breeder, it does not guarantee you a good solid temperament.
Right. So,
And we digress.
no, but that's a relevant piece of the equation, because I always say the breed matters, right?
Yep.
Um, their age, their history, their lineage, if we know it, it matters to help
Yeah.
us figure out the root of a GI issue or an allergy response, or all of those things tie into. It's funny, I always say we train the dog that stands before us, or we support the dog that stands before us. But the more we know about all the things around them, that's where the answers are.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and going back to like breed out like anxiety, certain breeds of dogs are naturally going to be more highly anxious, driven. When you don't fulfill that drive, you have anxiety and aggression. So, I mean, it all matters in every aspect.
Exactly. So one scenario related to that just happened to me a few weeks ago. You get a call or the inquiry comes in and it's like blue heeler or mini Australian shepherd or some sort of herding cattle
Is
type.
nipping my child.
Right. And I'm thinking, let me guess, you're in a condo high rise here at the beach. Yeah, no. Right. So they'll be like, what can I do? And I'm like, my first question is, are you exercising the dog? Have you tapped in to simulate what they're bred to do?
Yeah. And walking 5 miles a day is not
Is
going to
not
fulfill
it.
that ever.
Is not it. So no amount of changing the nutrition, essential oil pixie dust, none of that is going to fix a problem that's rooted in their need to have a job or athleticism or, whatever. It's just not going to fix it.
We can't change DNA.
No.
DNA's there. We have to adjust.
Right. Yeah. So we also hit on allergies a little bit, right? You mentioned that some animals are just, the breeds are predisposed to skin health issues or GI issues or whatever it may be. And one of the problems that I have is people will pop in a group, not just my group, but I can think of many other really large groups, and they'll ask a question, what should I use for insert topic here? And they get back, 42 answers. Add a probiotic, do an Epsom salt bath, give them Apoquel, right? All of those things are starting to be thrown out by people who do not know the history of your dog.
Yeah.
Right? So they might put you on a path to having considered that particular product or thing before. That's where you need to do your research, because I can throw out products all day long, and that's what many influencers and many product sellers do. But if you're really trying to get to the root of it, you have to look at the uniqueness of your animal.
And don't get annoyed when we ask you all of those questions. When was your dog separated from its litter mates? Where does your dog stay when you're not at home? Like, you might think those questions are really, really annoying, but it helps us figure out what's happening in your dog's life.
Right. Exactly. And so, and then also coming to my mind is, don't be upset when the plan needs to change.
Don't expect immediate results and expect that there will be tweaks.
Right. Exactly. And we can only do that based on your dog's response to that previous action we just took, and your consistency and your environmental changes and all that comes with that. Did you implement the exercises? Did you implement the food change? Did you take away whatever product, right? All of those are why we start most conversations with, well, it depends.
It depends. It's not because we don't want to help. It's not because we don't know. It's because there's a whole lot more information that needs to be gathered.
Right.
And even then, that's not like you said, like there still may need to be changes made down the road when one thing works and something doesn't, like, you can't try five things. You can't start five new things all at once either because you don't know what's working for your pet.
Mhm. Yeah. And I can tie this back to like our first aid discussion, right?
Hmm.
If you send me a question, I may be I may be able to get you started today on either something you already have in your first aid kit or a food item or an herb or a supplement that I can send you to your local health store to get. So me knowing where you are in that cycle also is contingent on the answer that I'm going to give you, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So what else comes to mind for you on this? Because I mean it ties into everything.
It really
Really,
does.
I mean,
It's
really, it
it's
does.
all it's all connected. It's let's
I mean,
see.
I can give you an example, and I hope I hope she don't be mad when I bring her up. But I have a friend who has a dog that she's had for about a year who she asked me, she said, he eats very inconsistently. Like she'll put food down and he may or may not eat it. Right. So I've been trying to give her some ideas on how to solve this. And we went into what is the schedule? Well, it's inconsistent, right? Do you put the bowl down, give 15 minutes, and then you take it away? Well, no, I leave it down until he chooses to eat it, and then I'm not sure if the other dog ate it. Right. So there's a whole lot of, I don't, if you don't know, I sure don't know. Right. So it became put the food bowl down, 15 minutes, it's gone, whether it's eaten or not, blah, blah, blah. That worked for a little bit, and then it was inconsistent again. And so it came down to how much food are you giving the dog? Is it more than he can eat?
Yeah.
And it kind of is, right? That's part of the problem. So, even in asking me how much food or which food to choose, I can give you the parameters, but each dog's going to be a little bit different.
Oh yeah.
So,
We don't all like the same foods and we don't all eat the same amount of food.
no. And we
I'll,
don't all need the same food options,
yeah.
right? So there's another, it depends. Well, does your dog have kidney disease? Or are they young, puppy, healthy with no issues whatsoever? That's going to make a decision about what I tell you to feed your dog.
Hmm. Yep. A lot of times I go back to dogs have natural instincts about things, especially things like food. And if they know their body doesn't need it, they're not going to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
They will walk away from the bowl if they know that that's something their body doesn't need.
Right.
Sometimes we just have to listen to our dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. And that sometimes means if you have two dogs in the same household, they actually don't eat the same food.
Yeah.
That's a common question I get is, well, I want them to eat the same thing. And I'm like, they might not be able to.
I have three dogs. None of them eat the same thing.
Yeah.
It can get complicated.
Right.
But it's what we
Exactly.
do.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very fortunate. Harvey and Poppy do eat the same thing. Um, we don't have a lot of supplementation because what they need's in the food, and neither one of them would at this time have any health issues that I know of that would be controlled differently by food. Um, so I'm fortunate in that way, but the moment you have a senior that moves into Cushing's or chronic kidney disease or diabetes or what, diets are going to be different between the pack members.
Yep.
So,
And food affects emotions. So you might be asking questions about a dog with anxiety, and we're still going to ask you, what do they eat? How often do they eat?
food first, always. exactly. So I ran into that problem a lot as a trainer, and I'm sure you still do. You
Yes.
know, you get it, well, my dog has anxiety and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, then we need to talk about not feeding Purina,
Yeah.
not only for the dog's longevity, but for their current behavior. Well, that doesn't make any sense to me. And so it matters. It changes everything.
I always have to go back to the McDonald's reference, and as much as it pains me to
Yeah,
talk, because I don't eat fast food, it makes me feel horrible. I'm like, so I have to be careful too, though, because I know there are some people that eat fast food all the time. So that analogy isn't going to work. But I'm like, hey, what does Taco Bell do to you if you're not used to eating it? Okay, well, that's how your dog feels right now.
right. But that would come back to if that human sat down in front of a functional medicine nutritionist, right? They're going to say, what's your attitude? Are you angry? Are you frustrated? Do you fly off the handle? Are you depressed? All of those things are going to be part of a functional nutrition discussion for the human. So why
Hmm.
would we not do it for the dog? You're
Definitely.
silent.
But
I figured
yeah,
you speechless.
I'm just thinking about like there's definitely some exceptional people that their dogs are treated as members of the family. And then unfortunately, there are dogs that are treated as just dogs
Yeah,
that, don't get the comfort of daily affection and interaction and things like that. And it's even harder to help those people when they have no relationship with their dog
right.
because they don't know anything about their dog, but they still want help. They
That's a
still want help
tragedy.
with allergies or anxiety or leash reactivity or dog, like all of those things still matter, but they don't know enough about their dog.
That's a tragedy.
It is.
It really is. Um, I had a scenario recently, and I'm learning that when I tell the real, I don't know how people on Facebook and TikTok all do, they come on and they tell their actual story and then they don't get in any trouble about it. I tell something that happened to me and people are pissed off everywhere. And I'll give you an example. Um, um, I went to a cooking class over the weekend and it was gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free for people to make desserts for the holidays. And this is a functional nutritionist. I forget her fancy title, but she does all of this for people. And she's excellent, by the way. I mean, the cookies that I walked out of there with, I thought these are going to taste like cardboard. They're actually really delicious, and they were gluten free, dairy free, sugar free. Okay, you can't beat that. Anyway, here she is talking about all this nutrition, all this synthetic stuff in people food, and all the bad things in eating out, and all the things. So my brain hears that in dog terms, right? And I need to
Yep.
for me. But I turn around and there's her dog eating a bowl of kibble with a flea and tick collar around his neck.
Oh gosh.
I was like, oh. So do you say anything or do you not?
Yes, you do. Because a lot of time, not that same scenario, but I've talked to people like massage therapists, for instance. I love my massage therapist. I've been seeing the same girl for years, and she also does like Reiki and stuff. She never once considered the fact that she could do the same things for her dogs. Like, oh, I could do Reiki. Yes, you can do Reiki with your
Oh, she,
dogs. Yes, you can do massage therapy. Like, we all benefit from those modalities of wellness.
right,
But sometimes we forget that what we do for ourselves and other humans, we can also do for our animals.
exactly. Yeah, 100%. So again, people talking about Reiki, people's eyes glaze over when I talk about that. Or I don't do active animal communication, meaning you can't call me and schedule an appointment. Um, I mean, you could, but I just don't do that as a day-to-day service. It's a lot for me to do. But you've been on the other side of there's no way she knew that.
Yep.
When I'm working with a dog or put my hands on a dog for a raindrop or a Reiki or whatever kind of session it is. And so sometimes that happens to me just talking to the pet parent or looking at a photo of the dog. It just does. So yeah, it depends.
It depends.
Depends on a lot of things. All right,
Yep.
well, this was awesome. Anything else you'd like to add about that topic? It's not us just being jerks.
Yeah. We're not trying to be annoying.
No.
We annoy ourselves enough. We're not trying to annoy other people too.
Right. Exactly. We want to we truly, truly want to help and see your dogs thrive until they're over 20 years old. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to have that happen twice. I'm going for it again.
And the questions matter.
Yeah,
They all matter.
the details absolutely matter.
We're not just stealing your information to sell it on the internet.
Right. Who has time for that?
Oh, I was a little bit off. I mean, it's off topic, but I was just listening to a podcast of two very well-known people in the pet food industry. And they were talking about how AI now you can take someone's information and have some AI person generated person say it, and then you put it out all over the internet and nobody knows who actually said it. They actually had their book copied and sold under another name.
Yeah,
Crazy.
see, that's
It's
bad. That's bad
terrifying.
stuff. I don't like that.
Nope.
Like
And
it.
there's no copyright that's going to protect you against that.
Yeah.
But that might be a whole nother topic of discussion. What do you believe on the internet?
Oh, don't please. I mean, I could go on a tirade about influencers selling products about dogs that I'm like,
Yeah. Well, and that's what they're doing. They're taking legitimate animal professionals, DVMs information, their content, and using it to sell a product that they've done nothing to verify that product's quality. But because someone said it somewhere else, they've taken that information and used it to sell this new product, and it could be complete garbage.
right,
But because so and so said it was a good product because they
right.
stole that language.
And not only is that true, but it's like I said about the some of the Facebook groups. You're gonna get multiple answers from
Yep.
multiple people, and they are going to vary. This is where people start to feel overwhelmed and confused. And they are not going to take the unique scenario of your dog into consideration in the answer.
Yeah. Don't ask the internet. Just don't ask the internet. Ask someone that knows what they're talking about. And if it's not a free consultation, can just do it anyway. It'll be worth it.
Right. Yeah. All
'Cause
right.
you don't have to spend a lot of money and energy doing stuff that is probably never going to help. And then you get frustrated with the process.
Yeah. So that leads me, and I hope, Angela, you won't mind me indulging that I'm trying to put together a class that will kick off in 2026 that's for the beginner. It starts with the beginning. How can I save money and feed my dog better? It's kind of module one, right? And then we'll move into what does it really mean to reduce the use of vaccines or heartworm medication, and what if your dog, so we just saw a post today, a study that says if your dog was neutered or spayed before they were 12 months old, there is a 10 times greater likelihood that they will have spinal issues. This study was done in French bulldogs. So the earlier they were spayed, the greater the risk of having something like IBDD.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can apply that to dachshunds. We can apply that to Great Danes and the aggression and all, not Danes with aggression, but those topics, right? It's all very similar. So why did I bring that up? Why was I talking about that? I've lost myself in my thought. But oh, that my
Yeah.
class. And so you read something like that. The question is, well, crap, my dog, and Harvey is a perfect candidate. I guarantee you he was neutered before he was 6 months old.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. So as a dachshund, he's going to be more predisposed. He's as a dachshund, he's predisposed to joint health, back issues anyway.
Yeah.
Now a 10 times greater. What do you do with that? What do you do with that information? And so
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do in what will become a series of helping the pet parent through the phases, right? Or they get that kind of information. Where do they turn? And it's going to be you and me in our forum saying, I just read this. What do I do about this? What's my proactive step?
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. I think sometimes when you know so much, it is really hard to break it down into those little small nuggets that the beginner people need to understand it.
Right. And people come in at different entry points, right? So I'm trying to, my head right now is trying to problem solve to map this out and make it available starting.
It's a a la carte wellness guide.
Yeah,
I like it.
me too.
Exciting.
All right, my friends. Well, thank you all for attending, and we'll see you on the next one.
It's been a pleasure.
Gotta turn us off here.
Thanks for listening to Dogsplaining. We know you've got a lot of choices when it comes to dog advice. We appreciate you trusting us to keep it honest and helpful.
If today's episode helped you understand your dog's needs more clearly, share it with someone who may also need to hear it. And don't forget to follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
For more resources, visit us online or join the conversation in our community. We'll be back soon with more insight into your dog's behavior, health, and wellness. Questions welcome, and we love guests.
Until then, keep listening to Dogsplain.